In this video, we're going to graph the values of free fall. And we'll start by making a graph of the acceleration time. Now, what we saw in the previous two videos is the acceleration is constant. So the acceleration had a value of 10, and it remained 10. It's a straight line. It's a horizontal line. And the slope is 0, which means the acceleration is constant. Now, what about the velocity? Well, the velocity, when Blake dropped it, started out at 0. And we saw that in the first second, it changed by 10. In the next second, it changed by 10. So in 1 second, it changed by one second, and it changed by 10. Every second, it was changing by the same amount or a constant rate. Now, in this graph, the slope is the change in y over change in x. Well, the vertical axis, the y-axis, is velocity, so it's change in velocity over change in time, and that is the definition of the average acceleration. So the slope tells us the acceleration, and the slope is constant, making it a straight line. The last graph is the one that gives people the most trouble, and this is our position in our time. Well, if we said it started at a position of 0, in the first interval time, it covered a little bit of distance, say 5 meters. But in the next interval of time, it covered a greater distance. And in the next interval of time, it caused an even greater distance. In the next interval of time, an even greater distance. And you could see that that produces this curved shape, which is half a parabola. And the formula for a parabola is y equals ax squared. So you might say that z then equals capital A t squared. So the position is given by this equation that looks like a parabola. The slope of the zt graph is delta y over delta x. And the vertical axis is z, the vertical position, and the x-axis is the time. So the change in position measured in meters and the change in time measured in seconds, meters per second, that means this is the velocity. And so what we see is happening to the slope here is the slope is increasing. That means the velocity is increasing.